Operation Thor, the lost weapon of the Third Reich. In the final days of World War II, as Soviet troops stormed the ruins of Berlin, an intelligence officer stumbled upon a sealed metal archive. On its front was a single word, Project Thor. Inside were pages filled not with blueprints, but with strange runic symbols, fragments of scientific notes, and references to something ominously called the weapon of the gods. The file was marked Top Secret and immediately transported to Moscow. Days later, the officer who had handled it vanished without a trace. Officially, no such project ever existed. Unofficially, it might have been the Reich's most terrifying attempt to merge ancient mythology and cutting-edge science into a single, deadly weapon. To understand what Project Thor could have been, we must go back to 1939. Within the Nazi elite, one organization stood apart, Ahnenerbe, the SS division tasked with uncovering and reclaiming the supposed heritage of the Aryan race. But its goals went far beyond archaeology or history. Heinrich Himmler, its patron, believed that ancient gods were not merely allegories, but actual beings of immense power, whose divine energy might be captured or reawakened through long-forgotten rituals and precise manipulations of physics. He imagined a weapon that could turn myths into reality, and thereby secure victory for the Third Reich. The Ahnenerbe gathered physicists, linguists, occultists, and engineers under one roof. They scoured ancient texts, tested esoteric symbols for scientific resonance, and experimented with frequencies, magnetism, and energy in ways that were decades ahead of anything officially documented. Together, they searched for proof that mythology hid real technology that could bend nature itself and alter the course of war. Among their secret undertakings was a classified initiative called Operation Thor, named after the Norse god of thunder. Operation Thor was led by a mysterious physicist, Dr. Friedrich Mahler, once a respected academic in Munich. In 1940, Mahler vanished from public life entirely. According to post-war testimonies, he was moved to a hidden research facility deep in the Thuringian forest, a place shrouded in mist and secrecy. The aim of the operation was both audacious and almost unfathomable: to create a weapon powered not by conventional fuel or uranium, but by the natural resonance of the Earth itself. The project documents mention an atmospheric accelerator, a machine capable of generating lightning without clouds, a self-sustaining electromagnetic vortex designed to manipulate the very fabric of energy surrounding the planet. Local villagers spoke of nights when the sky above the forest glowed with an unnatural white-blue light. Rolling thunder emanated from beneath the ground, shaking houses and rattling windows. One shepherd described seeing a vertical column of light rise from the treetops, as if the mountain itself had been struck by heaven. People reported that their watches stopped, compasses spun wildly, and animals cowered in fear, refusing to leave their pens. Survivors recalled a smell of ozone that lingered for days, a scent that seemed both electrical and suffocating. In 1946, an Allied interrogation transcript surfaced, taken from a captured German technician. He claimed that Mahler's team had discovered what they called the frequency of the planet, a precise vibration that linked magnetic fields, atmospheric currents, and even gravity itself. He said, "We struck the sky, and it struck back." According to his account, the experiment had succeeded, but only once. The weapon discharged a blinding electric storm that spread over a 30-kilometer radius, destroying instruments, jamming radio signals, and leaving an eerie calm in its wake. When the light faded, Dr. Mahler was gone. His name vanished from all subsequent Nazi documentation. When American troops reached the Thuringian site in April 1945, they found the remains of a massive underground facility. Walls of scorched concrete, metal fused into jagged forms, and charred silhouettes of bodies suggested a force so intense that it had consumed everything nearby. Yet oddly, the main reactor chamber had not exploded. It had imploded, as if the energy had been drawn inward, leaving only a cavity of twisted metal and scorched stone. Witnesses described a low hum, a vibration felt deep in the chest that lingered long after leaving the ruins. After the war, Soviet engineers scavenged what they could. Tons of machinery and dozens of documents were transported east, presumably for study. Yet when Western historians later requested access to these archives, they had vanished. Even the official Soviet report was vague: an experimental generator, unknown purpose, unsafe for transport. Over the decades, rumors persisted that something in those mountains remained active, a residual energy left behind from the experiments. Half a century later, in the early 1990s, German geologists recorded unexplained electromagnetic spikes in the exact location of the former facility. These anomalies appeared to correlate with no natural or human-made events. Satellite imagery occasionally captured brief lightning flashes over the mountains, despite clear skies and calm weather. Locals continued to call it the mountain that hums. They claimed that standing there for even a few minutes caused a strange sensation in the chest, a tingling along the skin, and even watches would stop ticking, as if time itself had shifted. So what was Operation Thor? A failed experiment, or something that went far beyond known physics? Declassified intelligence from the 1950s suggests that both the United States and the Soviet Union tried, independently, to reconstruct Mahler's work, but neither succeeded. Some documents hint at a technology so advanced it was described in hushed tones as too dangerous for humanity. Buried deep within Vatican archives, a note survives, mentioning devices that summon the wrath of the heavens. Written in Latin, it reads, Filii hominum ignam deorum tetagerunt, et Dei avertuntur. The sons of men have touched the fire of the gods, and the gods have turned away. No one has ever located the complete plans for Project Thor. No one has explained the persistent magnetic anomalies, the strange lightning phenomena, or why the Soviets erased their own records. Some scholars dismiss it as myth, a ghost story born from war, fear, and misremembered events. Yet the accounts of villagers, technicians, and soldiers alike hint at something real, something terrifying. Perhaps in that remote forest of central Germany, mankind once cracked the code of the storm and decided, for reasons lost to time, never to use it again. Because some weapons are not meant for human hands. Even today, explorers and paranormal investigators visit the area, reporting subtle hums, flickering lights in the mist, and a sense of being watched. Birds avoid the peaks, animals behave strangely, and the locals never stay after sunset. It is a place suspended between myth and reality, a reminder of a time when ambition, science, and obsession collided in ways the world was not prepared to witness. Operation Thor remains a story of hubris and mystery, a hidden chapter in the war that some would prefer never be uncovered, a testament to humanity's dangerous fascination with forces it barely understands.